Hi, welcome to Avi's Kosher Kitchen. It's me, Avi, and guess what happens when you take fruit juice, ginger, and something from the water and put them together? You get something really, really delicious, and we're going to do it now. But before we do it, I want to say l'chaim. I'm saying l'chaim with this beautiful etrog liqueur from our friends at Sukkah Hill Spirits. It is a wonderful liqueur. It accompanies their besamim liqueur. Okay, this is all handcrafted, handmade out in California, and it's not only kosher, but kosher LePesach. So I'm going to say l'chaim, Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Shakol Niyah V'Varo. Oh, that's good. Now, I told you something from the sea. We're going to make tuna. More about that in a minute. First, let's get the citrus that I talked about. I've got here the juice of 2 oranges. Now, I fresh squoze these. You could use orange juice from the store if you want to. Just make sure you don't get the concentrate and all that kind of gunk. Get the really good stuff, okay? But fresh squeeze is just as easy. I'm going to put it in my pan. Now, in my pan, there's nothing else but the juice. Turn the heat on. I'm going to put it on a low heat. I want low heat on this because I just want the juice to get warm. I don't want the sugars in there to scorch or burn. I just want them to start to a little bit kind of caramelize into itself. And what am I going to put in there? I'm going to put a little bit of this, a little bit of lemon clover, or actually lemon honey cream, or creme if you like. This is from our friends at Honey Ridge Farms. It's raw honey. It's out of Oregon, and I got to tell you, it's great. They make all sorts of different flavors. Anyway, this is going to go in. I just want to let that get a little warm before I put the honey in. I don't want the honey to just sit there. I want the heat to take that honey and just spread it and infuse it right into the orange. Okay, we're really making an orange ginger sauce for, say hello to my friend, tuna. Let's call this guy Charlie, okay? I know you're all going, yeah. Well, you know. At any rate, this is from our friends at Java Tuna. It is some of the best tuna I have ever eaten. And what they do as the ship goes out in the Pacific, off of Indonesia, all the tuna is line caught, so it's all sustainable, no net catching or anything else like that. There's a mashgiach right on board the ship, so the kosher supervision is right there. He's checking, making sure that the fish itself is not just tuna, but it's kosher tuna. It is filleted, it is cryovac and vacuum packed and flash frozen, so it really, really stays fresh. And it is sashimi grade tuna, which means you could just take this out of the pack and eat it raw. And believe me, we've done that around here with a little dipping sauce, and really, really good. Comes like this, frozen. If you see it in your grocery store and it's defrosted, see if they got any in the back frozen. That way, put it in your freezer. I've got some here that I've defrosted. It's got the little skin tag on it. We're going to cut that skin tag off, throw that out, and there's our tuna. Now, our orange juice, as you can see, has really started to come up to a boil. I've lowered the heat really low now, and I'm going to add in my honey. Look at this. Look at how thick this honey is. Just drops in there. Just a little bit more. Okay. We want a little sweetness with this. This is a sweet and savory sauce. Now, to balance out the sweetness of the orange juice and the sweetness of the honey, I've got a little lemon juice, fresh squeezed lemon juice. I'm just going to put a little bit of that in there. A little more acidic, well, I'll put the whole thing, a little more acidity in there. And then the last thing we're going to do in there, which we're going to do in a minute, is we're going to put a little fresh grated ginger. Now the ginger is going to give it a whole nother little flavor profile in there. So that's just going to simmer on there. Now, in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grate my ginger now, right into here. Okay, we don't want a lot. Just want enough to give it a hint of it, but we're not looking to be overly gingered, okay? Nobody wants to be overly gingered but the professor. And if you get that joke, you're as old as I am. Anyway, we're going to put this on one of my back burners just to simmer. Ah, there it is. I have it on, simmering. Beautiful, simmering already. That's good. Now, on to here. I've got a cast iron skillet, beautifully pre-seasoned, okay? When using a cast iron skillet, by the way, always have one of these guys around for the handle, okay? Because these handles heat up very hot. It's not like a stainless steel pan or any of these other pans where you've got that kind of molded handle that doesn't get hot or it's out there. This really gets hot because cast iron really conducts the heat so well, it spreads out all over. Now we're gonna turn this burner on and we're gonna get this pan really nice and hot. We really want it blazing hot because we don't want to cook the tuna all the way through. What we want to do is really have a nice sear on the tuna without cooking in through the middle. Again, sashimi grade, you could eat just, I could just, you know, I'll show you. Just cut a slice off of here, pop it in my mouth, delicious. By the way, when you're getting fish, if it smells fishy, don't use it for sushi, okay? It's not gonna be that fresh. And what we're gonna do here is the pan gets hot, we're gonna put a little bit of sesame oil in it. But before we do that, I'm gonna season up this filet. A little kosher salt right on top, and some cracked black pepper. Nothing fancy. This is sort of like you're seasoning a steak maybe, you know? Again, kosher salt, both sides, cracked black pepper. That's it, put those aside. Okay, sesame oil here, right in the pan. It's going to get hot, okay? And just adjust my temp there, just give it a little bit more, goose it up a little bit more. Now you can see the oil is smoking. I'm going to lower the heat a little bit, fish in. Listen to that sizzle. That's what we want to hear. Now that's going to sit right on there, okay, for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, okay? Just let it sit. Don't do a thing, don't touch a thing, it's going to be fine, trust me, okay? Now, while that's doing its thing, I'm going to come over and check on my sauce. Now, let me bring this over here to you. Now you can see that this is just starting to have everything get nice and friendly, okay? Okay, that honey dissolves right in there and it becomes very liquid, but when it cools down, it thickens up really, really, really nicely. So I'm going to take this right off the heat, put this aside, okay? And that is going to then be drizzled right on top of here. In fact, let me grab a spoon. And we're going to take a little bit of this, just drizzle it right on top here now. Oh yeah. See, oh, the smell coming up. You see the steam and the smoke. That smell, unbelievable, okay? You want to have this on a nice high heat, otherwise it's not really going to crisp up that well. Let me see how we're doing here. Oh, beautiful. We're going to just flip that now. And a little bit more of this sauce right on top. Now the reason I want to put the sauce on while I'm cooking, okay, I want to get a little bit of the caramelization there of the honey and of the orange juice right into the meat, okay? Right into that tuna. Now you can see here it's starting to it's going to burn a little bit, okay? You don't want it to burn too much. That's why you want to just move it around, keep it moving. If you just leave it in one spot, it's going to burn, okay? So keep it going a little bit like this, okay? Now again, this is sashimi grade tuna. We're not going to cook it too long. Get a little bit more into the sauce there. I can see that's looking beautiful. Burner off, heat off, okay? Okay, and we're going to take this tuna right here on the board again. Put that aside. Beautiful. We're going to just let that rest for one moment. Now while it rests, remember that is hot. So just a little bit more of this right on top. Look at that, a little bit right on top. Very nice. Now, I've got my plate here, and on my plate, I already put some mango, and I put some avocado. I'm gonna put that there. Let's get this. And now sometimes you can see here, this piece just comes off. Don't force it, just leave that there, and let's slice. Look at this. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I could smell the flavors, the sweetness of it coming up, a nice pink red center. If you like your tuna cooked a little bit more than this, that's fine. I prefer the rawness of it to let the flavor of it come in. When you're doing it with really good fresh tuna and a good fresh piece like this, then that flavor really comes out. And it's just enhanced by what you've done. But hey, if you're somebody that really wants it cooked all the way through, I'm not going to stop you. Your tuna, your kitchen. Okay, let's take another slice here and just beautifully take this. Now we're going to put this right here, right on our plate. You can see how lovely this looks. What we're going to do, we're going to kick this up a little bit, okay? What I'm going to do is put a little bit of, I got some fresh cilantro here, okay? We're going to just take this fresh cilantro, just do a little bit of a, just a little bit of a chop on it. Put a little bit of this around the plate, like so. On top of the fish, I've got a little bit of my mango salsa, my mango coconut salsa that I made earlier. And I made this when we were doing our tuna burgers, and you can find the recipe around here somewhere. But this is really basically just coconut oil, mango that has been cooked down in it and caramelized with a little bit of pure maple syrup and just a touch of salt. Okay, we're just going to put a little bit of this right on here, just to give it a little bit of sweetness into it, and that's good. And if you don't have this, you can always just take a little bit more of your honey orange and just let that drizzle, drizzle, drizzle right on top. Beautiful. And just a little bit right on top of the mango slices I got here. And there we go. That is it. It is a really lovely, lovely type of way to do the tuna. A little bit different because it's a little bit more tropical with a little bit of an Asian twist to it. And that's really a beautiful, beautiful thing, at least in my book and in my mind, and certainly in my stomach and in my mouth. So here we go, a beautiful honey orange ginger tuna, courtesy of our friends over at Java Tuna. Got to ask for it by name. Great, great tuna. I'm going to say l'chaim again with our beautiful etroglucor from our friends at Sukkah Hills. And until next time, I'm Avi. L'chaim.